This is the single biggest thing I've learned after over 3.5 years in my human design experiment. Welcome back to the channel. I am Dr. Kate Flynn, your human design active deconditioning guide. So for those of you that may be new to my channel, my husband and I started hearing about human design about 4 years ago. A little over 3.5 years ago, we jumped into the experiment and started our deconditioning. And the biggest step we took was selling everything we owned in the States and moving to Ecuador with the sole intention of finding out who we really are and healing from things that weren't even on our conscious awareness when we made the decision. My husband, a 3/5 splenic projector, wanted to know what it was like to be outside of the hustle culture, working himself to death like a generator. And I had some issues that were impacting me that, like I said, I didn't even know about. So our only purpose for this move was to heal and find out who we really are. And it's been a phenomenal, fantastic ride. The things we've gotten to experience, the healing that we've undergone has been nothing short of amazing. In that, however, being both 3/5s, as I said, he's a splenic projector, I'm a 3/5 emotional generator. Our plan was for healing and did not include a financial longevity aspect. We knew eventually we would have to do something to start making money again to plug into that system, though we do need to make a lot less living here in Ecuador than we would if we were still in the US. So we're not retired. We didn't have this long-term financial plan. We knew it was a pretty high potential that one of us or both of us would eventually have to go back to the States and do something to make some money until we started to reintegrate into that kind of work culture. So we're finishing up the chapter of deep healing and any inner growth and now moving into this place of, okay, how do we sustain this experience? So over the last year at different times, Matt has said, you know, we're getting too close to the end of our means. We're gonna have to move back. We're gonna have to go to the States, go to Birmingham where his mom is. And the first time I heard it, I was adamantly no response. The second time, adamant no response. And the third time when it came up about 2 weeks ago now, it was like, okay, obviously this is something you feel compelled and convicted that you have to do. And so let's just do it and see what happens. It's like this apparently is the next step in front of us. Let's see what happens. Now, even a year ago, I would not have been at a place where I could accept that and mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually be strong enough to handle it. But that's a testament to the experiment. And what I've learned above all else, as I've been kind of sitting in this new space of being in a foreign country by myself over the last week, is I don't have to know all the answers. I don't have to understand what's going on. Before, that was paramount to my existence. I am a natural born question asker. That's what makes me such a good human design guide, especially for generators and that sacral response. I will ask a million questions, dig underneath the surface, and try to figure things out. Now, when it's just me, that's easy to do because I know myself very well. But when you start to try to figure out other people's motivations and what their experience is and all of that kind of stuff, it's just kind of crazy making, and it keeps you in this mental madness of getting nowhere. I have no control over his experience. I have no control over the choices he makes while he's there. And I have no idea how this experiment is going to play out on the other side. When we talk about it, we say, wow, we're just going to have a really great story to tell on the other side of this. Intuitively, I know that it's about more than the money, and whatever it is, all I can do is hold the space for him to get what he needs and for me to take the next correct step in front of myself. From a relationship standpoint, I've taken up a lot of space in it over the last 15, 16 years that we've been together. And now if he needs a little bit of space to have his own experiences that neither one of us really know what might come up, then I am so grateful to be at a place of acceptance. The old me would have looked at this as though I was being abandoned or left behind or feeling like I had done something wrong. And that was a concern about sharing this with people down here, because from the outside world looking in, the 3-5 approach doesn't often make very much sense at all. So it can look like failure to others, mistakes. Oh, you didn't plan financially properly for this experience, and now look where you are. Look what you've done. Now you have to go back home. Or it raises questions about the relationship and the strength of the relationship, because not many people are on board with allowing each other to have their experience. And I just think it's such a cool and amazing place to be, and what a gift it is that we can do this and know that we're going to come out the other side stronger. We don't know what it looks like or how long it's going to take. So being in this place of acceptance without having to intuitively excavate and do the muscle testing and all these things to try to figure it out and understand, and what are the missing pieces and what do you really need to focus on while you're there? None of that. Now, if I'm not careful, my mind will get in there and start. And then I'm in this process of minute by minute having the awareness of where I'm fueling what I'm doing. Where am I placing my power? And if I'm putting my power in my thoughts, it doesn't feel good, and I'll start to get anxious. When I redirect that power back to my body says, we're good, we're fine. This was just the next step in the story, in the unfolding of your experiment and in your relationship, and it's totally at peace. I'm sleeping well, and it's all about focusing on what my body says. This is where we need to be for right now, for whatever reason, and I can accept that, and I don't have to figure it out. So if you are experiencing challenges with needing to control the reality and have all the answers and figure out what everybody else is doing, this is a beautiful gift that your human design experiment has the potential to give you. And for me, that's reason alone. I don't need to figure out what everybody else is doing or why they're doing it anymore. All I can do is focus on the things that light me up and wait for things to respond to. And the waiting can actually be really enjoyable, which is just mind-blowing to me. So that's all I have to share for you today. The biggest thing I've gotten out of my human design experience is acceptance. Letting everybody do what is correct for them and not worrying about it and not trying to figure it out. If you would like to have that same experience and learn how to redirect your resources, your power, your energy away from your mind and back to your body so that you can live from this place of peace and acceptance, then I would love to be your guide. Feel free to reach out and let's get something on the books. Otherwise, I will see you in the next video.